She sat in your lap that evening, just like that. You didn't think much about it. She did that sometimes. You kept reading, kept watching, kept living. And a few days later, she was gone. And only now, weeks afterward, you remember it. That evening, that lap. Was that goodbye? Did she know? Today you'll get the answer, and it's so much bigger than anything you expected. Cats say goodbye, not the way we do, not in words, but they say it. And almost everyone who has lost a cat, when they think back to that moment, understands it in retrospect. Stay until the end, because the last part is the one you might need right now. The first thing you need to know, cats know when their end is near. Not as a thought, not as fear, but as a physical knowing. Their organism changes, their energy shifts, their behavior alters. And we see this altered behavior, but we misread it. Or we don't read it at all. Because we don't want to believe what it might mean. Some cats become suddenly more clingy in their final weeks. They seek more closeness. They sit in your lap more often. They sleep closer to you. And we think, how sweet. She's getting older and cuddly. But sometimes it's more than that. Sometimes it's the collecting, the refueling, the storing up of you. As if she's saying, I want to take as much of you as I can carry. Because I know I'm leaving soon. That's not a scientific term, but it's what veterinarians talk about when they're being honest. Researchers in veterinary medicine in Vienna observed, cats show measurably altered behavior patterns in the weeks before their death. Some seek out certain places. Some sleep at different times. Some eat at different hours. That sounds like illness symptoms, but often this happens long before medical symptoms are visible. As if their body is telling them something, and they're listening. Some cats intensively seek out their person in the final days. They choose certain spots in the house, certain moments of the day, as if they're walking through the rooms that matter to them. Not in panic, but quietly, methodically, as if they're saying goodbye. But hay raise something that weighs even heavier. Other cats do the opposite. They withdraw, they hide more, they seek less contact. And we think, she's tired, she needs rest. But sometimes it's the quiet letting go. The laying down of everything that held her, of everything that bound her. Including you, not because you're not important, but because letting go sometimes means letting go of love too. That's the hardest moment to accept. When someone who means so much to you slowly moves away from you. Not out of indifference, out of readiness. Out of the deep inner knowing, I'm allowed to go now. Imagine that moment. You're having a long, good evening. Everything is quiet. Everything is warm. Everything is exactly as it should be. And then she comes, sits with you, looks at you. Not demanding, not restless, simply present. And then she goes again, and you don't think anything of it. But maybe that was her goodbye. Maybe that was her, I saw you one more time. I'm taking that with me. That's not an accusation toward you for not recognizing it. You couldn't have known. You were in the middle of living. But now, in hindsight, you recognize it, and that's the hardest part. But hey Ray, something I want to tell you, and I mean this very sincerely. The fact that you didn't recognize it doesn't make the goodbye any less real. It still happened. You were still there. You gave her your lap without knowing what it was. And maybe that's the purest form of it. Not arranged, not performed, not knowing it was the last time. Simply there, simply warm, simply you. That's the best we can give. Not the perfect conversation, not the right words, simply our presence. And she had that. A behavioral researcher from Switzerland put it this way. Animals don't say goodbye on a stage. They say goodbye in small moments. In the evening that was like all the others. In the glance you almost missed. In the last sleep that no one recognizes as the last. That's the goodbye you didn't recognize. And it was complete. It was real. It was enough. Because you were there, even without knowing it. And that's the part one need to tell you now. You might be carrying the feeling, I should have done more. I should have paid more attention. Maybe you tell yourself, if I had been more attentive, I would have recognized it. But I ask you, would you really have done anything differently if you had known? Maybe not. Maybe you would have done exactly the same thing. Given her your lap, shared your evening, left your warmth. Only with the knowledge that it was goodbye, and then the moment would have been harder. Not for her, for you. Maybe she spared you that. Maybe she simply let you live. Without burden, without drama, just like that. I want to ask you something now. Is there a moment you're thinking of now? An evening, a morning, a small image? Your cat, somewhere, sometime, in those final weeks. And a feeling behind it that you now understand differently? Then that was the moment. That was it. You lived it, without knowing what it meant. And that's not failure. That's humanity. We live in the moment. We can't know which moment is the last. And maybe that's good, because it allows us to truly be present. Not as goodbye, as presence. I know grief has no instructions. I know words don't help much. But sometimes it helps to know the goodbye was there. It was real. Even if you didn't recognize it, your cat gave it. With the whole heart she had. And now you carry it, without having known it then. That's perhaps the most tender thing love can do. It says goodbye without demanding that you know it's goodbye. So that you can simply be there. And that's the gift you couldn't see. She gave you that evening, without weight, without fear. Just warmth, fur, purring, breath. The most everyday and at the same time the most precious thing. And now you carry that, in this memory. Not as loss, but as what she left you. If you're going through this loss right now, or if you're thinking back to one, write to us. Because these stories deserve to be shared. Not because they're sad, but because they show there was love. Real, lived, everyday love, big enough for a soundless goodbye. Right, I think I know my moment. Or simply write your cat's name. We read every comment, because every name means a life that was loved. And that deserves to be spoken aloud.